Morning everybody.
Hello.
This is Mario again, and we're in Cebu right now in Talisay, in our house in Talisay, Cebu. And today I want to do a podcast with a friend. His name is Oscar Peñaranda. He's a Filipino writer, and he wrote how many books have you written so far?
Three on my own and others with other people, other writers.
Oh, okay. And he just came from Manila and did.
Yes.
There's a book fair over there.
Yes.
And how did that go, Oscar?
Oh, it was good. That book fair I loved it. And I also did a book launch of my own book about
Okay.
a week and a half before the book fair.
Okay.
So
And
that went well too. Yeah.
did you do a reading in that book?
Yes,
launch?
I did the reading, and it was the launch, Manila edition of my book. I launched it in San Francisco last year, December, so almost beginning of this year.
Okay.
And then the Manila edition I did in Elks Club of Makati
Okay. And
a couple of weeks ago.
actually, I've read that book, Followers of the Sun.
Yes, yes,
And it was a very good book.
Yeah, Followers of the Seasons. Yeah,
Followers of the Season.
yeah,
So I did read that book, and you have a part there about Alaska.
Yes,
And I do want to talk to you about Alaska, so because
Okay.
we're both Alaskeros.
that's right, that's
I
right.
worked in Alaska 1977 till 1985.
Me in 1966 to 1980.
Wow. And again, can you tell me how you came up to be working in Alaska?
My father worked in the Philippine consulate,
Okay.
and in 1956 we left the Philippines. I was 12 years old. We went to Vancouver, Canada first.
Okay.
He and 7 or 8 other members of the Foreign Affairs
Mhm.
was assigned to open the first Philippine consulate in Canada. So we were officially the first Filipinos in Canada that's
With the consulate.
recognized by the Philippine government.
Okay.
I was 12, and then when I was 17, we moved to San Francisco. My father was transferred. Same job, he was in the Philippine consulate in San Francisco. And because it's in the Philippine consulate, marami siyang mga connections.
Right.
People come to him for favors, for information.
Mhm.
My father was good with information.
Okay.
And when it came to summertime, my father always would tell us, you work. You
Right.
have no excuse not to work. I can
Yes.
find you work everywhere.
Yes.
And I never complained. Okay, sa akin yun, sure.
Yes.
So I worked. The first year I was in San Francisco, I worked in the farms, near Vallejo. My father knew someone there who was the foreman.
Mhm.
He put me to work. I worked there. Every year now, I worked in different farms. So 1966 summer, 65, 64, I worked in different farms of California. Summertime only, because I'm a student.
Right.
During school time, I'm always in school.
The farms you work with, were there a lot of the old Filipino manongs, the
Yes.
sakadas
Yes.
that came really.
Yes, those are the ones that the young people are studying now in school.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I was young then, I was 20, 21.
Mhm.
And
So you experienced working with them.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
And I always like, you see, the old people, when they find out that a young man is interested in their stories,
Yeah.
they'll talk to you all day.
Yes.
All day.
Yes.
When they found out I was interested in this and this, they followed me all over the place. I'd go to the bathroom, when I come out, I'm sila lima, naghihintay sila.
Uh-huh.
1938, so they told me all the stories in their own.
Sayang you should have
I know, I
tape
know.
it or video
Yeah.
it.
And all the time we were working, Pag kami
Yeah.
break kami sa Laiwas, all the old guys would tell all the stories. 1928 and forever.
Yeah.
And they would contradict each other. No,
Yeah.
he's lying.
Yeah,
I was the one who did
yeah.
it, not him.
Yeah.
Sila.
Mhm.
One time in Stockton, there was a guy in my cannery, Blackie, si Manong Blackie.
Mhm.
Old already, wala nang ipin.
Mhm.
The young people made fun of him. But my foreman said, when he was young, kayo lahat, you used to run away when you heard his name. If you owe him money and he was coming, this guy, he used to hide under the table. Pero si Manong Blackie, wala nang ipin.
Oh.
But one time, somebody pissed him off. He took a blade. Young guy, he locked himself in the room, didn't trabaho 2 days. He wouldn't come out,
Yeah, yeah.
Sabi ko, Manong Blackie, pabayaan mo na yan. He said, no, He's young, I'm old, but we have one thing. He has one life, just like
Right.
me. That's why. That's why I respect those old guys. Yung sila Manong Blackie and them. Cebuano yung Manong Blackie.
Oh, okay.
One of the rare Cebuano. Hindi sa Ilocano. And
Mhm.
I was Visayan, so many of my workers, because my foreman was Ilocano, many of them were Ilocanos also.
Yes.
But there was a few Visayans there. But because of my, siguro my growing up here sa Pilipinas,
Mm.
I got along well with the old folks. I
Yes.
would listen to them and things like that. So that's why I knew.
They were telling you about Alaska.
Yeah, and their stories was dying. Parang nawawala na yung experience na yun, and I felt it. Yung mga isda, nawawala na ng konti. Used to be plenty of fish before.
Yeah.
Punong-puno. You go to the bathroom, fish coming out all over the
Yeah.
place. You know?
Yeah.
But now, konting-konti na lang. Kung minsan, half the crew na lang kami. So I saw it dying. And at the same time, I saw something new coming up. Sila Larry Leong, the union, and the Filipino workers were organizing.
Mhm.
That was-
Did you meet Larry Itiong?
Yes, yeah. Larry Leong, in my cannery in Alaska, South Naknek,
Mhm.
Alaska Pattern South Naknek,
Mm.
siya yung union man.
Oh,
When
the
I
shop
went-
steward.
Yes.
Okay.
1966, when I came in, he had just stopped in 1965.
Okay.
Because he was organizing the farm now.
Oh,
The
okay.
Delano happened in 1965, September. But yung crew note, 1966, they were all from the same, from Larry Leong. In fact, 2 years later, I took his place as shop steward.
Shop steward.
Yeah.
So you were the shop steward?
Yes, after 3 or 4 years
Wow.
of that same cannery. Because the one who took Manong Larry's place was a company man. He was no good.
Yeah,
He was no
yeah.
good. He just said yes to all the company men.
Mhm.
I know all those. And when I took over, the white guys were kind of threatened because they knew I'm going to college. They knew
Yeah.
I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah. So you're a little bit different. You're the educated
Yeah,
Filipino.
and I would call them on certain things. I'd strike them there a couple of times. One strike I remember, hindi marunong magluto ng kanin yung mga puti.
Oh.
They had this cook that
White cook.
white cook because you get white pay. Cook
Yeah.
get high pay, as you know.
Yeah.
And then if you're white, you even get higher pay. Luto na- and then yung kanin nila is malapot, tapos dry. They couldn't get it right.
Mhm.
So our crew was complaining to me. Sabi niya, Oscar, can you tell us how to cook the rice correctly? So I told the white guys, well, no, you have to take what we cook. I said, it's an easy solution. You shouldn't make us confront of each other because Filipinos, they work like hell. But you don't feed them well,
Yeah.
they're not gonna work. They're not gonna work
That's
for
right.
you.
That's right.
All you gotta do is feed them well. And if you don't know how to cook the rice, we know how to cook the rice.
Yeah.
Hire these 2 Filipino guys, give them cheap cook's pay, and everything will be okay.
Yeah.
They didn't do it, so nag-strike kami. We struck that next day, we didn't work. Lunchtime, they surrendered. Lunchtime pa lang, natumbakan sila. They didn't know what to do. They couldn't work the fish out, they couldn't do shit.
Yeah.
So, lalo silang naman ng pera.
Oh.
Then, at that time, we got what we wanted, and I heard all those white guys talking shit about me, that educated asshole, that intellectual bum, gano'n sila sabi. But I didn't care because at that time it was hippie time.
Yeah.
Even yung mga
Mm.
they wanted
Long
to get a
hair.
haircut. I said,
Yeah.
don't get a, make him wear a hairnet. There's a solution to things. You
Yeah.
just don't make him just because you, boss kayo, papagupitin mo sila. The guy doesn't want to cut his hair.
Mhm.
It's his right to keep his hair, but keep it healthy by putting a hairnet.
Yeah.
It's easy. So, mga ganun. Before they didn't bother talking to Filipinos. But
Yeah.
after a while, since Manong Larry started showing them that it's better to work with the workers, then they started wisening up. One time nga, you're not supposed to steal cans of salmon. There's a rule that you can't take. But me, I sent them to the post office. Marami akong connections ng mga Indians there.
Yeah.
I took the whole case.
Mhm.
Jit did, then
I did the same
yeah,
thing.
di ba? Everybody did. You go in the bunkhouse, in the rooms, ang dami mga
Yeah.
sabi, wow.
And you know what they did in Uganic Bay?
Oh,
They put the cans in the canning shop. You know where where the
Yeah.
magnet is.
yeah.
They put the can and they put like a cat food or dog food. Like the
Mhm.
the label like a dog food. So and then put that in display to scare the people. Said, "These are dog food." He
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
"No, you don't understand. You're doing that in purpose so nobody
Tama.
will steal."
Tama.
You know, but yung mga iba natakot. You know, pala ito.
But you know, we used to make salmon in a can,
Yeah.
adobo, you know, put bay leaf, pepper. You
Yeah.
know, our
Yeah.
private, you know, kasi I became the warehouse,
Yeah.
head warehouse, so we can do it ourselves. But one time, nahuli yung isang old-timer
Mm.
ng superintendent, ng Mr. Phillips. Sabi niya, can I see what you got in there? I said, no, this is mine. This is, we're going home now. No more season was over, but everybody was taking home
Yeah. Yeah.
some cans.
Mm-hmm.
No, then they said, okay, no. Can I see your, no?
Yeah.
No, this is mine. Sabi, tough guy, small guy, pero tough guy, si Kelly. Kaya I had arm wrestle with him. No, I'm a
Yeah.
big guy. Talo niya ako.
Oh.
Good guy.
Yeah.
So this Kelly said, no, this is mine.
Yeah.
And I suspect you have some cans there. I don't care what you suspect, this is mine. Sabi niya, can you, he grabbed the, yung duffel bag niya, ginulo niya, patok, bunch of cans. What's
Yeah.
there? Can you see that? Can you open that thing? What do you have in there? My underwear. Sabi niya. Oh, concert you want, ingay. When my foreman came, my foreman is a good diplomat. Sabi niya, Mr. Phillips, you saw him take his cans here. Let him take it home. That's advertisement. That's free advertisement for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let him take it home. Because he's not going to give it up. You know, Kelly, that guy is a tough guy. He's not going to give. So the guy said, okay. So, there's a solution for everything.
Yeah.
It's just that they have to give you your voice. Before, they wouldn't listen to us.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
They think they're dumb Filipinos
Yeah.
doesn't do anything. Yeah. Yeah. That's basically what happened. Especially when the mga anak naman yung mga Filipino Americans
Oh.
got old, their parents go to Alaska, and then
Right.
yung mga university students
Yes, yes.
who went to Alaska,
Yeah.
doon na nagbago eh. That's
Yeah,
when they had
mid-70s,
the
mid-70s.
lawsuit, you
Yeah.
know that.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
because they won't take, yung nakikita nila na the whites were getting something
Yeah.
that we're not getting,
Yeah.
they would complain.
That's right.
So
yeah.
iba na.
Mm. They know the procedure, they know what steps to take.
Yeah.
Alam na nila.
Yeah, I was part of the lawsuit actually. I went through the deposition and
Ward Cove, this one.
yeah, the Wordscope lawsuit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, with the Union Fish Company, Wordscope, they have the Alaska Parkers Association that
That's right.
they sued, you know.
Yes.
And we won.
Yes.
That was a big
yeah,
case.
we won, yeah.
I think ang pag-divide nila sa pera, 2,000 lang yata binigay sa akin, 2,500. But that's
Yeah,
fine.
that's
At that
good.
time, malaki na yun eh.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maliit na, pero that time,
Yeah.
in the 70s, it was
Yeah.
big enough.
Oh. Like I said too, I think I got something there, but I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And many of my friends, we didn't really care
Mm.
to get the little amount of money or whatever they get. As long as we got our rights and we showed them that you can't do that all the time.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. When did you go to Alaska and why did you go there?
I went 1977. Actually, I wrote something. After this, I'm gonna show you something about my book, you know, because I want you to
Okay.
critique it or
Sure.
give me
Sure.
advice. But
Yeah.
Pero anyway, 1977, that was my first year. I came to the U.S. 1972, you know, and
Okay. Sa Seattle ka agad.
I went to Kansas City. I graduated Kansas City
Okay.
High School.
How did you get there?
Well, I wrote in the book, but I'll explain to you.
Okay.
When I was living here, actually I came from a very prestigious family
Mhm,
here
mhm.
from Cebu.
Mhm.
And what happened was I went to the States as a student visa.
Okay.
And then I left 1972. And what happened was Marcos declared martial law
Oh, that's what
in
you said,
1972,
martial law.
September 1972.
Correct, yeah.
So I was already in the States when
When
Marcos
happened?
declared.
Mm.
And what he did is he put a lot of people in jail.
Yeah.
And it included my dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my dad was one of the people got put in jail by Marcos.
Because he was not pro Marcos.
Yeah,
All
he
the
was,
political enemies.
He was a very good friend of Usmeña, and Usmeña ran for president against
Right.
Marcos in 1965 and 1969.
Yeah.
So Usmeña ran. He's like senator at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So he ran against Marcos. So that was his biggest opposition, was Osmeña. And my dad was a very close friend of Osmeña. And when Marcos declared martial law, he put everybody, including Osmeña's son, Osmeña's nephew, and bunch of other people that's under Osmeña. Osmeña was in the States because he was going through alam mo kung narinig mo yung Plaza Miranda, the bombing
dito,
in Manila.
Yeah.
He was part of that, so
That's right.
he almost died.
Yeah,
And then he went to the States to recuperate.
Yeah, that's right. Oh.
So, ang nangyari nun, he was in the States, but he put everybody else in prison. So, my dad was in prison. So, ang nangyari, it's all in the book. My life went bumaliktad, from a very spoiled,
stable.
not only stable, that was
Everything is
given.
was given to you. Yeah.
Bilang nawala.
Oo.
And I was only 15 when I left.
Mm,
So I
I see.
turned 16 and we had to survive. So I have a brother, si Alonso. So we end up working. And then I said, God, hirap naman ito. I wasn't used to working. I was so
Tama.
used to
Yeah.
having an easy life.
Yes, yeah.
I actually grew up with a silver spoon. I got everything, maids,
Yeah.
drivers,
Yeah.
and all that
Oh.
stuff. So I was working in the hospital. I was working janitor, busboy. I did everything.
Para tayo,
Yeah. And then 77, sabi ko, God, maybe I should go Alaska. Kasi narinig ko na Alaska the people who go there, they come back, they would buy a car.
Yeah.
Parang sabi ko, maybe I could do that, come back. So, I have an uncle, I asked him, do you know anybody, where I could go to Alaska? He said, yeah, contact this guy. Turned out to be Tony Baruso.
Yeah, si Tony, I stayed in his house one time.
Yeah, so I didn't know who Tony Baruso was. So I just went to the union and they were having a dispatch.
Dispatch na.
Yeah. The dispatch was actually over. Tapos na.
Ah,
Yung they
okay.
already called people,
They
meron na
already-
silang listahan.
Oo, tama.
Nakita ko siya lang nag-iisa. Tinanong ko, sino ba si Tony Baruso? Yun, yung nagsusulat sa harap. So I went to him and I asked him, Tony Baruso, my uncle told me to talk to you, about getting a job.
Yeah.
I said, who's your uncle? Tony Borromeo. I said, oh, okay. Yung lista niya, dinagdag niya yung panghanap ko. I didn't even know where I was going. I said, okay, you're hired. There's going to be you need to go to a Peter Pan office the next day, and then from the Peter Pan you have to do your medical, and then
Get you in the industrial avenue street,
Yeah.
there you get
Yeah.
your medical, yeah.
so that's when I found out. I went to the Peter Pan hospital. What country? False Pass, which is in the Aleutian Island.
Yes.
So ganun.
Doon ka
punta-
nakumpisa.
Doon ako nag-umpisa.
Yeah.
Then after that I went to Dutch Harbor. Trabaho ko sa Dutch Harbor.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Ito crabs naman ito.
Yeah.
So I work in a ship in the crab, doing crabbing. And then when I came back, I was gonna go to Falls Pass again because summer, it's, winter time yung yung
Yung crab,
crabbing.
wala na, tapos na yung summer, yeah. Correct.
Tapos pagbalik ko ng Seattle, pumunta ako sa Union Hall, tapos na ang kasi may maaga ang Falls Pass mahaba yung season na 3 months
Ah,
So,
okay.
sabi ko, sinong ko, pagdating doon, nag-dispatch sila sa Organic Bay.
Oh.
So, kinausap ko yung
Salmon.
salmon na naman. So, kinausap ko yung the foreman. I talked to him and I asked him, can I go to Organic Bay? He said, oh, do you have any experience? Tony Diaz yung sabi ko, yeah, I used to work in Falls Pass. I was working there as, I was doing, I was supplying the cans for the people that put the
okay.
cans.
Yeah.
I was a supplier.
Mhm.
So I said, okay, I'll let you in. I work in Organic Bay. 2 seasons in Organic Bay, Red Salmon. I work with Salvi Domingo there. Yan ang cannery nila sa Domingo
Okay, yeah.
So I went 2 seasons in Organic Bay, and then I work a little bit in Seattle, a cannery in Seattle.
I did that too, yeah.
The third time, I missed na naman yung Organic Bay. So saan ako pupunta? Nakita ko may opening sa tawag dito sa Red Salmon, which is in Naknek.
Across the river.
Across.
Yes.
Natanggap ako sa Red Salmon.
Okay.
I worked 2 seasons in Red Salmon.
What years was it? You remember? That's 1980 na?
1980 na, 81 yata, and 82.
Okay.
Kasi I started 77, then 2 seasons sa 78, 79 in Organic. 80 and 81.
Hindi mo naabot na siguro si Romeo Vasquez. He worked in Red Salmon.
Yeah, but he
Wala na.
Wala na. Pero balitang-balita.
Oh, because when I was working across the river, balita yun
Yeah. So I was there 2 seasons sa Red Salmon, Naknek. Then after that, nagtrabaho ako. My last season was in King Cove. Another Peter Pan na naman. So after 2 seasons Red Salmon, King Cove, that was my last one.
So, total,
Total
10
is
years.
1 year in Falls Pass, 1 year in Dutch Harbor, 2 years in ano tawag ito, Higanik, 2 years in
Red Salmon.
Red Salmon, and 1 year in King Cove. So 7 years actually.
Okay, yeah.
Not bad,
That's
you know.
good, yeah.
So I do have that experience. So
Yeah.
actually I wrote that.
Yeah.
That's part of my.
It's good that happened to you because you were fed with a silver spoon, and it's good you realize the other end of,
Yeah.
of life.
Yeah. That's why I want you to read my
Yeah.
memoir. Kasi ang memoir ko, I wrote about that, about my early life, you know, how, you know, yung mga ano nangyari sa early life ko, how, you know, we were growing up, and then nag-turn around yung life ko, pumunta ako States, you know, galing, you know, I was looking at the world from up there looking down, and then when I went to the States, from down looking up, and then I end up in the middle. You know, naging,
good.
kasi I went in business eh, nagnegosyo ako eh. And then, actually, I was very successful.
Wow.
You know, I own a mortgage company na real estate company.
Wow.
And then, pero iba na yung mindset ko.
Tama.
Kasi,
Yeah.
yan na ako, I had so much empathy for
Yeah.
her. You know,
Tama,
kasi
yes.
galing na ako dun eh.
Oo.
I was already in their shoes.
Yeah.
Hindi ako yung, ano, yung,
Yung judge, that you're judging them as
Yeah.
they're,
I don't look down on people.
correct,
You
tama.
know, kasi dumaan tayo dun eh.
Oh, me too. You know?
You know, so,
And then when you were asking me before, so I know the history of the Alaskan workers through the stories of the old people.
yeah.
Andun ba sila sa kada pa nila sa Hawaii?
Yeah.
They came from Hawaii.
Yeah.
That was the-
That's the start from Hawaii,
Oh.
and then they moved to the States.
Yes. So,
For the States, they go to agriculture and also Alaska.
yeah.
Ganun na
Tama,
yung ano nila.
yung season.
Ikot, season,
That's why I
followers
said-
of the season. That's basically what they did. They followed the season.
Mhm.
Summertime, they would go to Alaska, and
Mhm.
mga kasama ko is in, when I was in Red Salmon, when I was in Falls Pass, you're telling me you're San Francisco,
Mm.
I work in Frisco Boys, ang dami nila. So that was,
I hear about Falls Pass all the time from the Frisco boys. Yeah.
yeah. In fact, I wrote something about that, you know, kasi mga siga sila eh.
Oh,
When they came over there, they had long hair. Pagdating nun, nagpakalbo lahat.
oh.
I can tell yung grupo nila kasi
Oh.
I can tell that they all talk to each other kasi nagpakalbo eh.
Yeah, no.
You know, and
Siguro wanted.
mga siga-siga sila eh. They were like,
mga astig yung sa
uh,
the Penny boys, Frisco boys.
doon naman sa Red Salmon, mga taga-Delano, mga kasama ko.
Yun,
Ang
sana
dami
din.
mga taga-Delano.
Delano. Sa
Then,
Natnek also. Masiga-siga rin.
yeah.
They even brought yung mga newspaper clipping.
Yeah.
They stole something, they robbed the bank.
Yeah. Uganic Bay, maraming mga Phil-Amps na galing na sa mga taga-Wapato, mga Wapato boys, and also
So, when did you have
Stockton.
girls? When did you have women?
Mga babae
Mm.
na Pinay.
No, any babae.
Oh,
Pinay.
there's always been girls in the egg house.
Yeah.
The egg house is full of
Siguro
girls.
yun, yeah. But before 74,
Wala.
only the native.
Oh, kasi wala pang Japanese siguro doon. Kasi yung Japanese pumasok sila, mga 70s na eh.
Yeah, for the eggs.
When they start buying the eggs.
Yeah.
When they start buying the eggs, nandun yung mga Hapon. So,
Oo.
they set up the egg house, yung puro puti, mga
No.
estudyante.
Yung foreman ng mga Hapon sa amin, really, and yung foreman ng mga Pilipino, Marcelino, and yung foreman ng mga Indian, Alaskan Indian, Jimmy Walker, tatlo.
Oh,
They're all both sitting in one corner. In the warehouse, doon ako nagtatrabaho. I'm
Yeah.
working on the warehouse all the time. So they'll be, nakikita ko sila, they're on the bench. They're all short. So yung mga paa
Yeah.
nila, they don't even reach the ground.
Yeah.
They're talking stories. Then pagka nasasarapan na sila ng kwento, tinatawag nila ako, Oscar, come on, listen to this. Come here. Come on, listen to this. Nagtatrabaho pa ako, boss. Leave that alone. Take over. Come over here. So they can talk, you know? Galing. And they would tell me the stories of Jimmy Walker And really, the Japanese, the Japanese, ano silang technique eh. They don't speak English. Every time they don't want to talk to you,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm.
If they want to know their secret, hindi marunong yung mga puti how they do the roll, yung egg.
Yeah.
Merong formula yung oxidization of, they're trying to get the formula. The Japanese, all of them were told, I don't speak
Yeah.
English. But really, told me, they all speak English.
Yeah.
They just told me no.
Yeah. They're very precise, you know.
Oo,
Ano ko
ganun sila.
Yung nandun ako sa Dutch Harbor, they were very precise. Yung they want a certain thing na talagang tama-tama, you know, and they
Tama.
have their own box.
That's
and
right, that's right. Yeah.
It's amazing, you know, they're very,
The Japanese.
masaya rin. I mean,
Really?
that's part of my life, part of your life,
Yes, oo.
going through Alaska. I'm kind of glad I did it, you know. So
Yeah, and you know,
yung first time ko doon sa Falls Pass, there was this old guy, you know, one of the manongs,
oh,
who was really friendly to me, you know. And then I got sick right away yung first day ko doon kasi alam mo na yung machine, yung ingay, tapos
yeah.
nagtrabaho na
Continuous yun.
tag.
24/7 yun.
Yung pagtulog ko, higa ko, narinig ko yung tag.
Yes.
Then I got really sick. My temperature went really high, so I couldn't work.
It's
And-
really unhealthy. They can't. Then after a while, pag gising mo, I can't move my hand because of all
Yeah.
day. I mean,
Yeah. And the guy, the old man, you know, he really likes me. He came and bring me food, and then he would
Yeah,
talk me.
nice,
And that's,
yeah.
he would tell me that that's where I learned the history.
good. Yeah.
Tinuturo niya yung ano nangyari noon, you know, and all
Mhm.
this stuff. He said he used to work in California and
Yeah,
then here.
tama. Oh. And that union in Seattle, nagbari lang din doon before Barroso pa.
Yeah.
Sabi nga ni Divina,
Virgilio Duyungan and
Yeah.
Aurelio Simon.
that's Divina, my foreman told me, Oscar, you write about it. You should know that this union was born out of bloodshed.
Yeah.
Yun lang nga, nagbari
Yeah.
doon. No?
And I know the grandson of Virgilio Duyungan,
Oh, wow.
si mga de los Santos. They were
Mm.
it's kind of weird. Yeah, he's in Cebu. He's here now in Cebu.
Ah, yeah?
Married to a Cebuana.
Mm.
You know, and they handle the different union eh. Iba yung
Yeah,
union nila.
they have a different one, yeah.
Yeah, so nag-dispatch rin sila. You know,
That's right, tama. Oh.
Tapos so yung Red Salmon, tapos may isang cannery doon. Kalimutan ko ng pangalan ng cannery.
Same
Sa kanila
side,
yun.
same side of the river?
Sa inside the river.
Yeah, forgot.
Karamihan mga Delano boys.
Oh, I know.
Karamihan.
We used to visit them pagka wala kaming hawak.
Yeah.
And we used to visit, meron pang Bumblebee on our side. Bumblebee was on our
Bumblebee in your side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next.
Ours was Red Salmon Packing Company was owned by sino ba may-ari no?
That's fish company. Yeah, that's salmon. Big din. That's a big.
What's called ba yun? Kalimutan ko na.
Yeah.
I was in Red Salmon. It turned out Gene Viernes, the guy that got killed
Mhm.
with Selmy, that was his cannery.
Mm.
That's where he went.
Yeah, I know Jim
So-
Viernes. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the other one too.
Yeah, I know them
Yeah.
too because my
Yeah.
brother was really involved with the union.
Ah.
And the day that they got shot, he was on his way taking the bus to the
Oh.
Union Hall.
Wow.
And then nangyari, he was late. Pagdating niya, kita niya, meron patay na. Meron ng mga mga fireman at saka mga pulis.
Ambulance, yeah.
Sabi niya, if I came early, baka
Baka
kasama
nasama
pa
siya.
siya.
Oo.
You know. And anyway, he became the dispatcher after yung namatay si Gene Viernes, yung pumalit.
Mm.
Which I kind of hated because when people found out that he was the dispatcher, they would come to me, and ask him for favor. I
Yeah.
hated that. And my
Always.
brother told me, hey, don't,
Yeah.
parang sinabi, wag mong, don't entertain them. Kasi
Yeah.
magagalit.
Tama.
Magagalit sa akin.
Yeah.
Because one time I have to turn down somebody because my brother told me na,
Yeah,
not to
yeah.
entertain me.
Yeah.
Nagalit sa akin eh. So,
Alright.
what can I do?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Mm.
know this. Yung grupo na yun that took over the union, they were like the reformists. They
Yeah.
went into reform.
Now, I'm going to say something that might be too sensitive because I have my take on the conflict.
Uh-huh.
Like Gene Viernes and Silma Domingo, friends of mine. In fact, Silma's father worked with me.
Miss you.
Yeah,
Senior.
Initial Senior and Junior.
Junior too.
Silang dalawa magkapatid.
So they went to your
They
cannery,
went to my cannery for 3 or 4 years.
South Naknek.
South Black Lake. Now, when the new blood took over the old school, the new blood did not know how to talk, in my opinion, to the old people.
That's true.
You know, hindi sila, pwedeng kausapin niyo sana eh. Hindi lang, Filipino-American na sila eh.
Yeah.
They're all it's just that the sensitivity of the Filipino-American is different from the sensitivity of the old. Even though in principle I agree with them, maraming reform is needed, but it's the way they went about it, nasaktan yung mga old people.
Yeah.
Na-insulto sila.
Yeah.
And then Marcos was there to, kasama ko nila si Marcos with that, yung bata ni Marcos was in San Francisco, supplied the money for many things, even paying off those killers. Kasama rin yun eh. But kung alam lang nila Gene, siguro kailangan nila mga tayo. They needed
Hindi
people
sila
like us.
marunong
Oo.
mag-Tagalog eh.
Oh,
They
they
were
needed
basically
people like
Filipino
us to talk to the old guys.
Yeah.
I could have at least said that people like us.
Yeah.
Hindi nila alam, kala nila, kasi tama sila, pipilitin nila. Hindi ganun, maski tama sila, hindi mo pipilitin yung matatanda.
Yeah.
Because they've been, to them, that's their property, that's their territory, that they shed blood for that
Yeah.
thing, even though they're wrong. Now, sticking to the old times, there's still a way of making them understand things are changing. But hindi nila alam.
Exactly.
No?
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know, they kulang sa ano.
Yeah.
Dapat meron kagaya natin actually.
Well, yeah.
Who could talk to them.
Pakiramdam na kulang lang, you can disagree while you respect them. You know,
Yeah.
Just like when I disagree with my father and my uncle during halimbawa si MacArthur, MacArthur. That's the one that I really had to keep silent most of the times until I couldn't anymore. Because si MacArthur, I don't like MacArthur. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I like him for many things, but I think that he had a lot of faults that was overlooked by my uncles and my father's generation. Because Second World War, U.S. and the Philippines, naging body-body sila.
Yeah.
But MacArthur was saving his own American soldiers, not Filipino soldiers.
Yeah.
Every decision he made was for the
Yeah.
own. Even sinasabi nila, I shall return, that they made a big PR about that.
Yeah.
For me, that's not the way to be in a fight. Halimbawa, may pumasok na magnanakaw dito, sabihin siya, ay, I'll be back, okay, I shall return. Iniwanan nila tayo, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I shall return is another way of saying, I'm going to run away for now.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know? To me, pero I couldn't say that to the old folks until later on.
A lot of the Americans feel that way. The soldiers,
Tama.
they thought that the one that stayed behind, I think
Oh,
he's
Rizal?
Wainwright ba yun?
Yeah. No, there was Murphy.
They think he's the hero.
Yeah,
You
there's
know?
some people who didn't surrender.
Yeah, yeah.
Tama.
And not MacArthur.
Tama, oh.
You know, because MacArthur left, and that guy, you know, went through hell. You know?
Yes, because they stayed.
Yeah.
Because MacArthur had plans of being president. He
Yeah.
had plans, he was a grandiose guy. But, you know,
Yeah. And
Things
then
like that.
when he came back, MacArthur came back, meron siyang kabit na Pilipina.
si Dimples, yeah.
Yeah, si Dimples. Dinala niya sa Washington, si
Correct.
Dimples, tinago niya. Without,
Correct.
si Dimples, bata pa. She doesn't like to be, she likes to go out, do
Oh,
things.
yeah.
Yung gusto niya, nandun na sa apartment, you know,
Oh, tama.
tinatago niya.
Tama, oh.
So, alam mo na, after a while, pag you'll get bored.
Of course,
You know, so lumabas siya, you know,
Yeah.
start.
Tragedy yun because later on she sort of lost the will to live.
Yeah,
Si Dimples.
yeah,
They don't, she might have, I don't know if she committed suicide or not, but there's a book on Dimples.
Yeah.
This woman from Chicago. I didn't read it, but I want to read it.
yeah.
That's a good story too, si Dimples.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I made a video out of that. I
Oh,
made
you
a
did?
lot of videos out of
Oh,
things. You know,
wow.
I made a video of yung Mexican Filipinos in Mexican Revolution.
Oh,
I made a
you
video of
shared history natin.
Mexicanos.
Yeah,
I made a
good.
video of the Mexicans in the Philippines.
Yeah,
You know,
good. Yeah, that's good.
dami kong video ginawa.
So if you ever go to San Francisco, you will talk to Cesar Chavez's son. Kilala mo Cesar Chavez's son. His son-in-law, his son. In fact, the son wants to come with me here.
Oh, can you introduce me?
Yeah,
Because I want to interview
Let's
him.
interview him. We like to talk.
Yeah.
Paul Chavez.
Okay.
Sabi niya, I'm gonna go to the Philippines. Sabi ko, what are you going there for? You look for a girlfriend? No, 3 girlfriends. Sabi.
Not one, two.
No. But the name is Paul.
I interviewed one. I don't know if you're aware in Seattle. There's El Centro de la Raza. It's
No,
a
I don't know.
it's a old Beacon Hill school. You know where Beacon Hill is in
Oh,
Seattle?
oh,
That's the
yeah.
Filipino. Pero there's an old elementary school. It's called Beacon Hill Elementary School.
Oh.
And during the early, I think 1971 or 72, the Mexicans they took over the school. It was
Yeah.
abandoned. They
Okay.
came in and took over and they didn't leave. Sinarado yung kuryente, sinarado yung tubig,
Okay.
pero they took over.
Yeah.
And then later on, nakinegotiate sila sa city.
Mm.
So the city gave it for them for $1 a year rent,
Mhm.
you know.
Good.
And
Yeah.
they open social services, yung tulong sa
Yes,
mga
yeah.
Hispanic.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of the organizers there's 3 of them. And one of them, si Juan Bocanegra
Mhm.
and Roberto Maestas. Roberto Maestas, very well known in Seattle, in the
Mm.
Mexican community.
Sige,
Para
okay.
siyang si Sir Chavez din sa Mexico.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Pero anyway, si Juan Bocanegra, he's like, partner sila ni, patay na si si Roberto Maestas. eh.
Oh, okay.
So, I ended up interviewing him. Si
okay.
Juan Bocanegra, he was telling me the story, how it happened, you know. And
Yeah, if you go, when we go back,
so,
we'll
I
interview.
want to interview him.
Yeah, we'll go to Delano, nakatira sa Delano.
Oh, sa Delano siya?
But the sister lives in San Francisco, and I know the husband of the sister. So,
Oh,
Sir Chavez,
okay.
son-in-law. Yun ang kaibigan ko, matangkad. Basketball player din.
Wow.
Nice guy.
Okay.
We'll interview him, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, well, ano na yata yun eh? Over 30 minutes na yata.
Oh, sige, yeah.
Hey, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed that
Alright.
podcast we did.
Yes, and then if you're curious about anything, go research yourself. You know,
That's
do
right.
Do your own research. You know,
Yeah, do you
besides that,
learn about the Filipino
Correct.
history,
Correct.
especially the cannery workers?
Yeah, you know history, so you can know yourself. Because
There
if
you
you
go.
don't know history, you will have no self. Okay.
Good one.